Today I'm making a Julia Child rich chocolate cake. Wait. Oh, wait. Oh, there's another chocolate cake. Whatever.
Oh! Bon appetit.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to our kitchen. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Please pull up a seat and stay a while if you'd like. If you stick around to the end, you may get a slice of cake while supplies last. Just recently, I was attempting to make Julia Child's croissant. I really cannot describe to you the disappointment I had this morning when I came in, opened the fridge door, and it looked like that. Her croissant recipe from this cookbook here, Mastering the Art of French Cooking V2. It was a hefty recipe and things could have gone better, smoother. They ended up rather small. That's not the point. We're not getting into that. What I'm trying to say here is that the recipe took me a good chunk of time. So this cookbook was just kind of hanging around in spots on the counter. And if I was bored, I would just start flipping through it, see if there's anything else in this cookbook that I haven't made before. And then I spotted this, the Glorious. It's a chocolate cake called the Glorious. That's an epic name for a chocolate cake, and that's all the convincing I need to make it. Like I said, I have made a couple of her chocolate cakes before, La Reine de Saba chocolate almond cake. That was years ago. More recently, which was even still a couple of years ago, I made La Marquise au Chocolat, which is a chocolate sponge cake with coffee flavor to it. Hated every second making it. Until the very end when I got to eat it. Then it was cool, water under the bridge. But today I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah, the Glorious it shall be. And this is a very rich, very light chocolate cake. And the kicker here is that it's made with cornstarch instead of flour. It is a flourless cake. I believe we're treading into tort territory. Tort. Let's get to work. Today's video is sponsored by, oh wait, in my bedroom, right? Yes, let's keep it clean. This episode is sponsored by Helix Sleep, who have sent me something that I never knew I needed until I was sleeping on it. It's a memory foam mattress topper. Contours around me rather than giving me that sinking feeling. It's also got this thing called Glacial Tex, which is a cooling fabric. Pulls the heat from my body. For example, the air conditioning in my apartment here hasn't been turned on for this year. It's still heat. And this happens every year where like an early stretch of hot days comes along and you're just like lying in bed at 3 a.m. wondering, why is the heat still coming out of those vents? But not this year. I've been sleeping a hell of a lot better because this mattress topper actually keeps me cool. See, a whole new mattress felt like overkill. Mine was fine. It was just starting to feel a little bit worn out. And the topper gave it what it was missing without turning it into a full-on bedroom reno. And when I was cycling through Helix's topper options, I picked the combination that actually fit what I needed. So if you're looking to improve your mattress situation, but you don't want to replace the whole thing, you can upgrade without tossing it out. Just give your mattress a little topper. Whether it's for couples or back pain, specific firmness, AC issues. Right now you can get 27% off site-wide during Helix's Memorial Day sale. All you gotta do is click the link in my description and use my code, AntiChef. Thank you, Helix. Now beam me back to the kitchen. Gotta finish that cake. And we're back. So we're gonna melt some stuff together here. So I'm gonna make a double boiler. Boomy. Thank you. It's simmering water in my Dutch oven there and then a bowl on top. But don't let the water touch the bowl. 7 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate. Grate up the rind of 1 orange. Julia loves orange flavored chocolate. And I don't want anyone to tell me that I'm grating up this orange incorrectly, because a lot of people want me to do it this way. But every time I do it this way, I nick off a part of my knuckle. So no, I like doing it this way because there's no blood and also it's just quicker for me. Lesson learned, don't talk to the camera while you're doing something that you should be focusing on, which is like the whole show here. But the chocolate is supposed to be smooth and creamy, and I know it's supposed to look glossy, but this is very matted looking, and I know if I start adding butter into this, it's just gonna split. This is why I always have a little extra with the ingredients. Fool me. Thank you. The water was up to like a boil last time, which is what the problem was. Keep the water on a simmer, like a low simmer. Chocolate. In goes the rind of another orange. Okay, it's night and day with my first effort here. This is much glossier, smooth, and creamy looking, where the first one was just ugly. Look at this cement looking chocolate here. And then I'm gonna be using some Cointreau here to up the orange flavoring. And the booze also. So a 1/4 cup worth of that. Gently add that in, maybe a little at a time here. Okay, I don't have any other extra chocolate lying around, so I really don't want to screw this step up. That's a lot. That's what it says. So that's gonna taste heavily like orange and alcohol. This is a grand total of 2 sticks of butter. It's 226.8 grams worth. 8 ounces, adding in around a 1/4 inch piece at a time until all the butter is melted. A handheld electric mixer may become useful here. So how about the granny? Slowly, slowly, slowly. This is super helpful. More butter, more butter. Julia coming in clutch with this tip here. The woman's right. This is working like a dream. The butter's melting much quicker than it would without this mixer. It's incorporating into the chocolate. Everything looks smooth. She knows what she's talking about. That looks beautiful. Okay, so apparently this needs to look like a heavy mayonnaise, and it is a little too liquid. So if that was the case, and I did plan ahead here, I have a bowl of iced water. That's a big cube. And I just get that over top. Needs a little more water. Beat it over the ice water until it's the consistency I'm after here, which is much thicker. Hello?
Hello? Is this Diana?
No, it's not. I tell you, how many people are calling me asking for Diana? It's not Diana. I'm so sick of it. Let's continue. This looks great, and it's thickening up into a heavy mayonnaise, which is what we're after here. So, I'm gonna go fetch a friend. It's the Silver Fox. Silver Fox. Hey now, easy girl. 5 eggs into the fox here. Got it. Also goes in 1 cup of sugar. So let's start on a low speed just to blend it. Wasn't satisfied with that blend. Okay, now once that's blended, in goes a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Just crank this sucker for 7 to 8 minutes until this has doubled in size. It's pale, it's fluffy, and the eggs hold soft peaks. Crank it. Worried we weren't gonna get there, and then it started to thicken up. This is the ribbon stage, so you can see that when you lift the beater up, the mix falls into the surface, forms the ribbons before it disappears. Ribbon stage, ribbon stage. I don't think I'm gonna get there all the way because I'm using whole eggs, not just egg whites. So when it says soft peaks, so whole eggs and sugar don't make true peaks. If you're at the ribbon stage, you've done exactly what the recipe intends. Cool. So this is just like a coincidence that this happened today. But I went to my anti-chef mailbox, and this package was waiting for me. It was sent to me from Steph, lovely Steph. It is an old school sifter. I washed it. I think you will find sifting less daunting and a tad neater with this made for the task gem. I went looking for it at the thrift shops and I didn't know they still made them, but I think the hands that have used this one will bless your efforts into even more stunning and delectable results. Steph, you're a peach. I always wanted one of these, but I never picked one up because I was just using the sieve and I thought that that would suffice. But now that I have this, I'm like, yes, please. The fact that I just received this today and I picked a recipe that has this whole sifting step, I mean, it's gotta be meant to be, right? All right, 1 cup of cornstarch. Wait. Okay, it's not, it's just going, maybe this works better for flour. Okay, the cornstarch is much finer than flour. I have a feeling that will work better with flour. Completely focused here for this next part because it says the secret of a full light cake lies in how rapidly and delicately you fold the starch and finally the chocolate and butter into the... I hope everyone is okay. And how rapidly and delicately you fold the starch and finally the chocolate and the butter into the egg mixture. Rapidly yet delicately. Same attachment for this. Slow mixing speed. Very slow. I'm gonna gradually add in the cornstarch. It's gonna take 15 to 20 seconds just to add this all in. Take it easy, Jamie. Cornstarch everywhere. So we gotta stop before it becomes a perfect blend, and you must not deflate the eggs. I don't think I did. Fold in a gob of the egg mixture into the chocolate butter mix to lighten it up. Then a large gob at a time start folding. That's the first time in the history of me reading any Julia Child recipe that she refers to something as a gob. That's interesting. Then a large gob at a time, start folding chocolate butter into the eggs, rapidly cutting through the batter and out to side with rubber spatula, rotating bowl, repeating movements 2 or 3 times. Fold and rotating the bowl. Don't deflate those eggs. Large gob at a time. Rapidly add the chocolate. Okay, another large gob. Cut through the batter out to the side and rotate. Cut through the batter out to the side and rotate. So that's, I think that's good. That's fully, yeah, okay. Prepared cake tins. She says 2 4-cup cake pans. That's exactly what these are. And they have been sprayed with a little baker's joy. Never leave the home without it. Not an ad. And then parchment paper circles. A little more baker's joy and a little love. Pour this in equal amount into each cake pan. Don't miss the cake pan. Why are you missing the cake pan? Okay, so making messes with just some of the simplest tasks is definitely my forte. Move the batter all around the insides of the pan up to the top. I think that's gonna help it rise in the oven. So lightly tap these just to deflate any possible bubbles. Now these cake pans should be around 2/3 full. Oven's been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. These go in, middle rack. Must make haste. Space them out at least 2 inches from each other and the door. Good luck. So we baked that for a total of 25 to 30 minutes. Cake's gotta remain slightly moist. I think I know what I can do with my time. Most def. Now that the cakes are cooling, I'm back over here at the stove and I gotta make the chocolate filling. But here's the kicker. She's telling me that to frost the cake, you have 3 options. Either the whipped cream, meringue icing, both decent choices if you want to go that route, or chocolate icing. The same recipe that I'm following for the filling, so you just gotta double it. Boomy. Thank you. And yeah, it's a double boiler again, so just make sure that water is not boiling, it's just simmering, because if you screw this up, you're officially out of chocolate. It's 3 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, and then half an ounce of unsweetened chocolate. And then since we're doubling it, but I did run out of semi-sweet chocolate, so what I'm gonna do is add 3 ounces of unsweetened chocolate, because that's all I have in the kitchen. And according to my calculations here, and thankfully the internet, if I add 2 tablespoons of sugar in with that chocolate, that should turn it into semi-sweet. Hopefully that all works out. It's a ballsy move. And then this is just a half an ounce of unsweetened chocolate. I think I've completely confused myself with what's going on. I hope that makes sense. It's just a bunch of chocolate and sugar. Yeah, word to the wise, break up the chocolate before you add it in there, but I got really excited. So I'm gonna be using a little more orange liqueur. Julia loves this stuff. So 3 tablespoons for the filling, 3 tablespoons for the icing. 1 tablespoon for more. Of course, if you don't want to add the booze, don't add the booze, but it's in the recipe, so, you know, what the hell. And then melt it nice and easy. So I need around 4 to 5 tablespoons of butter. I did 4.5 tablespoons of butter times 2. Cut it all up into like 1/4-inch pieces, and I gotta add a little at a time. Piece by piece, brick by brick. So same deal as last time, there's a bowl of ice water, and this goes into that because it's not quite the consistency of mayonnaise just yet, and it needs to be. So these cakes baked up beautifully. It took around 28-29 minutes in my oven. I didn't want to... Oh, is that from my fingerprints? Yes. Okay, so the center is, yeah, that's me poking and prodding. Now the outside of the cake cooked through, and then the center you want to leave slightly moist, she says. So I'm thinking that's kind of going to be like the inside of a good brownie where it's like fudgy still. That's what I'm after. Run a knife around the edge and then onto a rack. Peel off the parchment paper. Holy cannoli. They never turn out like that for me. Okay, I think we've achieved the mayo consistency, so spread the filling on top. You gotta know when to say when. When. Okay. So I believe this, beautiful. Whoa. It is like a brownie. Wow. Okay. So you spread the icing on top. Do you think I should do the sides? She doesn't mention anything about it, but I'm like, I mean, I don't know if that's enough. You know what? I'm gonna do the sides. Screw it. Okay, this has the Jamie seal of approval here. I think this looks like a really nice looking cake. We're not going for like the smoothest thing in the world. First of all, I don't have the talent. Second of all, I don't have a cake turntable to do it properly. And third of all, I don't think Julia would have cared. Not with this cake. Cake platter, and I just gotta go in with confidence. With confidence. Order up. Yeah. Order up! Alas, the glorious. Out of breath. She describes this as a very rich and very light chocolate cake. First of all, it's the richest thing I've ever had in my life. Second of all, a very light cake. I don't know what she's talking about, but I disagree. I feel like I got the wind knocked out of me. I don't even know if I can finish a slice. It was a very generous slice, but I don't even think I can finish it. I'm gonna try. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I think the word that I'm looking for here is dense. It is It's dense. Honestly, I thought the orange liqueur would be a little more prominent in there, and you can pick up on it, but it's mostly just like this really intense chocolate flavor. She suggests a 2-layer cake. That's what I made. She suggests 2 4-cup cake pans. That's what I made. So that's exactly what she was after here. I followed this recipe to a T. The only thing I did differently was my crackpot idea of adding sugar in with the frosting to make up my own version of semi-sweet chocolate. That was a mistake, a learning experience, because you could pick up the little sugar granules in the frosting. It didn't completely dissolve in there the way I thought it would. The thing is, it didn't affect the flavor of the frosting. The frosting I was like licking off the spoon, and it was really nice. The thing is that the cake is just on another level. I think if you had a slice that was around a quarter of what I had, that's all you need. And it's funny because she says the cake serves 12 to 16 people. So I probably had a slice that was meant for like 4 people. That's the issue. Other than that, cake is delicious. Very rich, very not light at all. And it had the moist center, which is what I was after. Cake, tort, whatever you want to call it. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. Au revoir.
Ah! Bon appétit.